Hello and welcome back to Sprite Guard Plays Umihara Kawase. I've been practicing this game quite a lot, so let's see how far I can get and how well I can do, if I can do something fun, something interesting, maybe even something to be proud of. I've been thinking a lot about kind of pride and leisure pursuits recently. I was reading some comments on some Ocarina of Time videos, and I watch a lot of speedruns where they use a lot of really interesting glitches that are incredibly difficult to do. And somebody was commenting that they didn't think they would be proud if they had to use glitches to beat the game, which is pretty silly because the glitches are actually oftentimes a lot more difficult than actually just beating the game normally. But it was really just kind of a trolling comment, and I probably should not have given it as much credit as I did. But still, it kind of got me thinking about pride and leisure and legitimacy, because I have a lot of kind of insecurities about my leisure activities and having pride in them. And that was really kind of brought into focus by going to Emerald City Comic-Con yesterday as I record this, probably almost a week ago by the time this actually goes up. And it was a really interesting experience because it was so much stuff that... Some of it was stuff that I find really interesting and really love celebrating. Some of it was stuff that I really dislike about geek culture and was really celebrating things that I would rather not celebrate. And then a lot of it was stuff that I was really interested in and really liked, but kind of felt bad about liking, like I shouldn't let on that I liked it, even though I knew I was kind of among people who had come together for the express purpose of reveling in mass-market consumer culture. Because of the environment that I live in and the culture and the things that I value, I kind of still felt uncomfortable just purely reveling in the kind of the consumerism and the joy of consumer geekery. Even though that's very much a part of my culture, it's something that I'm still really uncomfortable with. And that kind of that connects to the idea of, you know, being proud of leisure accomplishments in the sense of what is it that we give legitimacy to? What kinds of ideas do we treat as legitimate? And I know that I am the only enemy that I've ever had. And I let the wrong people tell me what things are legitimate and what things are not. And so it's difficult for me to just let myself be proud of my accomplishments in my games, even though it's, you know, it's the stuff that I really love and the stuff that I most enjoy doing. And I hope and I try to really bring some of that joy into these games and really use that to try and brighten people's lives a little bit as much as I can. I don't know how often I manage to do that, I don't know how well I manage to do that, but I really try to make something more out of these videos. And I think that a lot of leisure pursuits people are proud of, even when they don't bring anything to anyone but themselves. I think that's totally normal and totally okay. And all of our leisure pursuits are kind of similar. They take certain things, they give us certain things. I don't think that there's anything inherently better about anything else that I might be doing, except maybe in that it might bring a little bit more brightness to a few more people, which I would love, but I think that this is the way that I am most able to bring brightness to people. I don't know that, but this is what I love doing, and this is really what I enjoy doing. And I hope that I'm, you know, managing to reach out to people and bring some joy to other people as I do this. Now I'm having quite a bit of difficulty getting up through this little chimney here. I've been doing this fairly consistently recently, but I seem to be hooking a little bit too far to the left there and just not getting the vertical speed that I need. And I'm not sure what I need to do in order to get that vertical speed. But that got me a little bit higher, and I might actually be able to, there we go, hook onto the edge like that. So I've come a long way in this game, and this is a very difficult game. I would say that, in my experience, it's the second most difficult game that I've played after Counter-Strike Surfing, which is kind of it's basically people take a glitch in the game Counter-Strike and turn it into a whole game where it's sort of like a platformer. It's a lot like the game Zenith is actually based on Counter-Strike Surfing. It's very similar to that. It's moving very fast and very smoothly, and it's something that I really enjoy, but it is extraordinarily difficult, and I don't really have the best setup for it. It's something that really requires the mouse and keyboard, which is not something that I'm very comfortable with. That was not good. I've managed to get through anyway. Doing okay. And managed to get through there, so let's give this another shot. So that is the only game that I've played that I would say is both really engaging and satisfying, and is kind of more difficult than this game. This game is not maybe the most difficult game that I've ever played, but it's the most difficult game that I've ever enjoyed. And I don't know if everyone has that experience, I don't know, but this is a game that really is something that I can feel like I work on and I make progress, and I'm really happy with the progress that I've made, and I'm proud of that. And I think it's okay to be proud of that, but there's always these demons in my head saying, you know, what are you accomplishing? You know, you're not... I have so many people in my life that are doing such great things. You know, my little brother is very much an activist and doing a lot of great stuff. My twin brother is a preschool teacher. My sister-in-law does stuff like works at youth shelters. So I have a lot of, really great people in my life who are doing things that are making much more of a difference in the world than anything that I can do. And so I have a lot of kind of insecurity and anxiety around my ability to be proud of the things that I do. But I know that comparing myself to other people is a losing game. I can always find someone who's doing better than me. And I'm never going to meet my own highest standards. And so I think that it's better to just remind myself that what I'm doing here is what I'm really passionate about, and it is a way that I can bring brightness to people, and it's a lot more effective than if I tried to do things that I kind of value more. I wouldn't actually accomplish anything because of who I am and what my skills are. And so I do want to kind of be more active in the world, but at the same time I want to kind of acknowledge that the things that I do are okay. They're a good way to have fun, and they are difficult things that I can sometimes feel proud of. Now, this is the most difficult level that I have gotten to. I have been to this level many times, and I have never successfully gotten through it. And I believe it's the second to last level. And it's just, there's so much difficult stuff that needs to get done. And this fish just keeps respawning, so it gives you so little time to actually get up this ledge, and I believe it's slightly random when it respawns. Now here, I don't entirely understand what it is I need to be doing. I don't quite have enough time to reach that. And so I think what I need to do is pull this down, and I've been working on... I've gotten through this first step a few times, getting onto there. So now I think I need to kind of repeat what I did at the very beginning of the game, over here. And let's see if I can do that. There we go. So now we have kind of the same situation, is we have a couple of big blue fish and an ink cloud that comes by pretty frequently and is going to really mess us up. I'm really glad I managed to get back onto that platform before it moved out of reach. I was actually pretty worried about that. And then I go and hit a fish. So there's a lot going on in this level, and it's really challenging, and I'm really glad that I've made it as far as I can, and I'm really having so much fun engaging with such a great challenge. And I just have to remind myself that it's okay to be with that, that it's okay to enjoy these things. There was so much stuff at the Comic-Con where I had to kind of stop myself and be like, it's okay to enjoy things. You know, there's not, you know, this whole idea of legitimacy is largely artificial. I do think that there are some things that are accomplishing more, but, you know, I don't think that it's something that is, oh, that's bad. I don't think that it's necessarily bad to not accomplish that much. Like, the whole, you know, it's just unpacking more and more kind of layers of ideas. And I think it's, you know, it's valuable and good to be active in the world, and I'm doing that more and more, but I also think that in order to really be the best person you can be, you need to be able to let yourself be who you are first. And you need to let yourself enjoy what you enjoy, and I think self-love and kind of self-forgiveness is really key, because in order to... I don't know why she wasn't reeling that in faster. Let's do this again. Come on. Oh. Nope. Got stunned again. Okay. Nope. Not gonna work. Okay. So, yeah, everybody has leisure pursuits. Everybody has stuff that they enjoy doing that doesn't really benefit anyone but them. And you need to kind of have a healthy respect for yourself and the ability to relax and have leisure in order to have the energy and the strength to, you know, to really support the world. And I've spent a lot of time, you know, not giving myself the credit that I needed and not giving myself kind of the opportunity to just really be who I am and celebrate who I am. And so I wasn't really able to bring more to the world because I wasn't able to bring more to myself. Never seemed to manage to make it over that more than once. There we go. Those ink jumps are incredibly hard to time, and it's a small accomplishment every time I manage one. Alright, we're back to this part. Let's see if I can get up. No, not gonna risk it. That fish it has such a large hitbox that it's just not worth the risk trying to work around it. I just haven't been able to do that. And this level just has so much going on. I don't even know how to reach that backpack there. I've tried a few different things, and those spikes are just so dangerous that it kind of becomes not worth it. There we go. So we're back to here. And now I just want to get up here. And that gets me up there. Now where does that cloud peter out? It kind of peters out halfway through that chimney. Can I? No, I can't swing away from it. So now we're going to have to do this bit, which is quite challenging, and I've been practicing it, but it requires a pretty precise series of inputs. I have to drop off of it, move over here, and then shoot the hook between those two platforms, which is pretty tricky. And I have to do everything very quickly. So let's see if I can do that. That was too far to the left, because I have to hook it onto that corner. There's not a lot of room for error, and if I do the wrong input even once, there's just not enough time to recover it. I just have to try it again from the beginning. And I really have to be quick about the order in which I push my buttons, because I have to move her slightly to the right, and then shoot the hook up. And so I have to hit up and then hook. If I hit hook first, her hook goes to the right, because that was the last direction I input. There we go. Now, is that enough room for me to squeeze through? Okay. So now we want to somehow get rid of these fish. That's a really bad place for that fish to be. I don't know if I can even deal with it. Okay, there we go. So that's one of them killed. I'm trying to say taken care of less, because really I'm killing them. Oh, that was unfortunate. Just kind of lost control of the situation. So we're down to 2 more lives, and gonna have to do this bit over again. But little by little I'm making progress, and I am proud of how far I have come in this game. You know, I couldn't even get to this level when I first started this series under the old channel name. Okay, that should be far enough to the... yes. As long as I get far enough to the left, the ink cloud won't push me off of the platform, and that's often the best that I can ask for. Alright, there's that, and then up here, there we go, up onto that, and now we just have this bit to deal with. And this is... I'm starting to work out a system for this. It's tricky, and it requires a lot of precision, and it requires a lot of retrying, but I'm starting to get a sense for what it is that I need to do. And it requires being pretty quick. But I love working on these kinds of things. I love working on these little things where you just have to be really quick and precise. It's so much fun. This is just the most fun thing for me, is working out these little arcane things. I'm thinking about doing like a little video about the... I don't think probably it's going to happen because the due date for this this contest that I was thinking about, but I might make the video anyway. The due date is tomorrow, and I don't think I'm going to have that. But I kind of want to make a video just about kind of the joy of arcane bullshit. And by arcane, I mean, you know, things that are hidden, things that are unknown, and by bullshit, I mean things that just really don't matter. And it can be things like these little sequences of jumps that I have to do to get onto these platforms, little things about what order I press the buttons in, you know, very tight timings. Or it can be things like, I was watching Dragon Ball Z recently, I mentioned, trying to kind of figure out the anatomy of a story. And I was kind of fascinated by just all of the characters' names and all of the things in the game that I just the show that I just didn't know about, even though it was kind of really mundane stuff like, who is Vegeta? Who is Goku? Just stuff, because I didn't know it, it was interesting. Oh, that was a mistake. And I believe that is my last life. Yep. So, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.